Welcome back to Celebrity Radio. It's Alex Belfield back in Star Dressing Room number 1 at the Nottingham Playhouse to talk to one of my favourite people who is an incredible actress. She's got charisma, she's got stage presence, and she's killing it here in this fabulous new production of Beautiful Thing. How are you, Charlie Brooks?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm delicious, thank you. And I look at you and I think to myself, what a life. You're credible, you're relevant, you're still here, and you're working. That surely is every actress's dream.
It is at the moment. How long it'll last, who knows? But yeah, no, it's all going pretty well at the moment. Thank you, yeah.
Is it fun being you? I mean, here you are in this play Beautiful Thing, which has got serious undertones and is putting a big message, but you get to show off in it, you get to steal the show with great lines, you've got zing, she's got great chutzpah, this character. I mean, it's a great role, isn't it?
I couldn't have wished for a better role, really. Yeah, it's been a joy to sort of develop her over the last few weeks, and yeah, I couldn't have wished for more.
Obviously, everybody knows you from Eastenders, but bigger than that, they know you as a really powerful actress. I mean, that role enabled you to do some incredible scenes, and in this, again, you get to prove you're an actress. I mean, it's sort of living the dream, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, I was very lucky with all the storylines. You know, Janine was a fun character, and she went down various routes, which, you know, enabled me to play several different storylines out, which were great. And then this came along, you know, perfect timing, really. And I haven't done theatre for quite a while, but yeah, it's all the gods are in my favour at the moment, as they say.
It's a wonderful set, and it's very clever the way it moves, and it's got 5 members on it who hold this whole thing together. Yeah. I'm wondering whether that's more fun being an intimate group of 5 people where you can have fun and get to know each other, opposed to 100 people in a big production. It's different, isn't it?
We're blessed. We've been really lucky. We've got a group touring company of 10 people, 5 of whom are the main cast, but we all get on brilliantly. There's no one that, you know, first we thought, oh, we'll start with all the youngsters, but they're just great. And, you know, I think I'd fall to pieces in a cast of 100 people. I wouldn't like it. So it's perfect. And
again, to take a new show on the road and then to launch it here in Nottingham, all the press are in. I wonder how you feel on that night. I mean, you've done it a million times, you've rehearsed it, and then we're sat there staring at you going, go on then, be good.
I know. There's definitely a certain amount of pressure on a press night. I generally hate them. I'd rather people just slip in and not let you know when they're in, you know, because everything feels slightly heightened, which is good in one way, but they are a necessity. And, you know, as far as press nights go, I think it was okay.
Is it also cool, the fact that you are a name that is dragging people in, and they need that now in most big shows, especially on the road? It seems it's more important in the regions to have somebody who's familiar. But then, of course, you've got to be this character. You've not got to be Janine or anything we know you about. Is that thrilling or is that daunting?
I felt really comfortable with Nikolai in this piece and what it was going to be, and I knew the play very well, and so I was really confident that it was going to be great. So just kind of got on and did it, and waited to, you know, unleash it all, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, it's always a bit scary. You've got to prove yourself, I suppose.
And it tests you, this role, because, of course, you come on through doors that slam and then slam again, and then you've got to go out the right one and in the right one. What are you thinking about? Is it an autopilot to get through it? How do you remember everything?
It takes a while, you know, but eventually you kind of nail it. On the first few nights, I'd come off stage and just have no idea where I was meant to be going or what I was meant to be doing. But now it's much calmer and much cooler, and, you know, we're all in a right little flow. So. And
that's what's exciting about it, that they offered it to you. And I asked this question of all great people: why you? Why do you think they choose you and not someone else? Have you put your finger on that, or do you try not to think about it?
I locked Jonathan Harvey and Tom O'Connell in a room and starved them of food and wine until they said they'd give me the part, basically.
As you alluded to there, this has been done in a wonderful film that is incredibly moving, and it tells the story of 2 young boys who discover themselves and then the reaction to them. It's almost sad in a way that this show's still relevant today. You would think people wouldn't care, but I mean, we only got to look what's going on social media and then what happens in America. People are still very narrow-minded, even though it's 2015.
That's very true. And the statistics are quite shocking, really, like 77,000 cases of bullying of gay and homosexual men, and out of those 22,000 attempt suicide. And so even though, you know, the Jamie and Steve 2015 can get married, they can fight in the armed forces, it's still illegal in 77 countries, and it's punishable by death in 5 of those countries, which is like crazy. So there's still a long way to go, you know, for acceptance within communities and that sort of thing on a much smaller scale. But yeah,
I guess in show business it's a bit different because there's so many people who are gay, who are camp, who can be themselves. But in real life, this is what it is, it's a real family, a real set of neighbours. I guess on your average street it's still difficult to come out, and that's what this play explores.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's especially in the 90s, but on the Thamesmead council estate, it must have been, you know, really hard to be open and honest about that, knowing sort of, you know, I mean, the boys were already being bullied for it from family members and, you know, for people alluding to them being gay. But I think that's what breaks Sandra's heart, really, is the fact that she's just knows he's going to have a hard life and it's not going to be easy. And so although she accepts, you know, I think her heart breaks at the end. It's a success story and it's a happy, uplifting ending because they're together and they are accepted, but at the same time they've got a very long and terrifying path ahead of them.
I did say to you when we first met that one of the great things about this story, it doesn't end in tragedy, because so many stories like this do. Jonathan deliberately made it an uplifting, positive ending, and in fact a beautiful ending.
Yes, that's right, but with an element lingering of this is going to be hard, you know, which we mustn't forget.
I saw a statistic the other day, the biggest killer of men under 35 is suicide. And that's very hard to comprehend. You would think it would be some medical illness. You would think that's the fact as we sit here in 2015. And again, I wonder why it's so difficult for people to be who they are. And then I also think, why do people care so much? I can't understand why people get so angry about other people's lives. Live and let live.
I know. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. But unfortunately, we have some very narrow-minded, judgmental people in the world. And lots of people are trying to be like other people and, you know, fall into, I don't know, the right crowd or whatever it may be in your world, you know. That's why the lyrics to the Mama Cass song that we play throughout this Make Your Own Kind of Music is, my favourite, you know, because the lyrics are so wonderful, they're all really profound. So.
And again, her voice is so wonderful, it's getting better. It's probably my favourite, especially on the radio. It's a great tune. And this is sort of a play that fades in and out with these wonderful, iconic tunes by Mama Cass, fabulous music, and it looks so great. They've staged it wonderfully with the lighting and stuff. Every second counts in this. They've really taken time.
That's the joy of Nikolai Foster, who directed it. His attention to detail is quite magnificent, and yeah, and a great designer, lighting, Ben Cracknell on lighting. We've had a really great team around us, so we've been lucky.
And then I came and saw you on Tuesday night for the opening night, and then the reviews come out, and they've all been pretty good. You must be very relieved.
Yeah, I was like, well, you can tell me about them if they're okay. I don't want to know if they're bad. So I've been really pleased. They've been fantastic. Do
you still worry at this point? Because when I look at you, I see nothing but success. Truly, when I look at your career, and I've researched you today, I mean, it's an extraordinary life and trajectory as well. And the accolades you've got. Do you know you're a great actress, or don't you acknowledge that either?
I don't know. I guess I'm confident with what I do. But then, you know, we've all got insecurities. Like, you know, halfway through, oh my God, is it too right? Is it too much? Am I overplaying her? You know, you have to be guided constantly, and I'm my own worst critic. So you're always looking for the perfect performance, which will never exist, because I always try to be better. When
you left EastEnders the first time, we were all sad to see you go, and then you came back with this huge furore. And I wonder privately whether you enjoy being a celebrity. It seems to me you like being an actress, and the rest of it's just a bit annoying.
Yeah. That's very true. I like being an actress. I think when I did the Celebrity Jungle, of course, when you do a show like that, you have to expect it. Wasn't expecting to win, and my plan was always to come out of that show and go straight back into work and not engage in any of the celebrity stuff, you know. I'm trying desperately now through theatre to just fine-tune my...
But it was a good gap in between the theatre work, because what it did, it enabled us to see the real you. Because when you've seen somebody grow up from so young and create this formidable character, most of which is unlikable, then we see you just being very shy in the jungle. That was what people sort of realised. You're not the character, and it sort of gave you a chance to have a rebirth as the real person, the real Charlie. I think it was a success, because if you fake it on there, you're going to get caught out, aren't you?
Yeah, I think you do. I'm not that shy.
Is it totally hideous in that?
It was really hard work. It was really hard work. It's the boredom more than anything. And I mean, I'm really accepting of people, so I didn't find anyone too annoying, or, you know. I mean, yes, Helen had her moments, you know, but generally it wasn't too bad. But yeah, the lack of food and the boredom crippled me.
And they're the two recipes for Rouse, and I guess that's why the producers do it.
Yes, of course, of course.
And then, of course, you did the Strictly thing at Christmas, which was great because you got to do it just for that short period. You didn't have to do the months in it. That, again, showed us the sexier side of you, which, again, you haven't gone the Helen route where you're looking for that type of attention, but it did show a glamorous side to you. Again, I think that worked. That was a home goal. You achieved your aim, didn't you?
I did, yeah, I did. I won that. That was brilliant because it was played on Christmas Day, and so I just thought, oh, how lovely for all the family to sit around, and Kiki came to the studio, which was great, and I loved the experience. I mean, you know, I don't want to do any more reality TV, but that would be a difficult one to turn down because I just loved, as they all say, learning the dances and everything else. But yeah, no, it was great.
I think it's the last proper reality show, isn't it, where it's not actually about the backstory and your grandma dying in some miserable car crash. It's actually just about your pure talent, and you'll get voted out if you're no good.
Yeah, that's true, very true.
And then life on the road. I mean, we sit here, the last time I think we sat on this pull-down bed in dressing room number 1 was with Julian Clary. It ain't that glamorous on the road. Then again, I suppose working in soaps isn't either because you're working long days. Would you rather have the live crowd in front of you or a TV camera if you could choose?
I wouldn't want to choose. I like both. At the moment, I'm definitely enjoying treading the boards. But, excuse me, I do thoroughly enjoy TV as well. It's a different, you know, technique, and I don't know, I find being on stage very freeing, and there's no editor and there's no, you know, it's live, and so you really live for the moment. But it's nice to play with stuff when you're in front of a camera, and it's two very different ways of working.
What is the thing that you are at core at this point in your life? Because it seems like you've evolved. I mean, you've come through all of that, and now you're able to pick and choose. Who are you as you sit here?
At the moment, I feel a bit like a student. And I feel a bit like I'm on holiday because obviously I'm not at home making meals sort of through the week for my little one and getting the school bag, you know. Her dad stepped up for that, which is fine, and she's been great. But yeah, I think you're talking to the 21-year-old student version of myself while I'm on tour with the kids. After
this, you're going into the West End for a bit, which is fantastic. To get this show back into the West End is thrilling. Is that a different edge, or is it the same show for you mentally?
I think it's going to be a slightly different ride. Mentally, I think we'll all be fine because we will have, you know, done it so many times. I think what we'll have to get used to is the crowd reaction, because I hear they're very raucous in London, and I can imagine that that's true. And also we'll have lots of friends in most nights between us. So, but yeah, I mean, being on the West End stage is, you know, on my bucket list of things to do, so it will be a dream come true for me. Everybody universally has said your performance is great. I wonder what toll it is on your voice, because this isn't an amplified show. Whether it will be in the West End is different because it's probably a bigger theatre, but you've got to belt it out, haven't you? Yeah, no, lots of warm-up and breathing, which I haven't been used to. I'm a bit lazy like that, and I didn't go to drama school, so I've been learning to use my voice, but it does disappear. I smoke a lot of those herbal things on stage, and so it kind of, they're a little drying. Is there anything in there? I mean, what do they taste of? Because obviously it's just smoke that we can see. They don't taste very nice, and they smell rank, so yeah, it's not great. No, that's not good. Hey, listen, I wish you all the best with this. You're going on tour across the UK. It's beautifulthing.com is the website. You can get all the dates, and you're going into the West End for about a month, and I guess 6 weeks, and that could extend if it goes well. I'm sure it will. So fingers crossed for that. Pay us enough. Yes, let's get you a pay rise already. Charlie Brooks, really nice to see you. Thank you for talking to me. Thank you so much. Thank you.